Hey guys, Howard here again. This time we're going to go over some tips and some tricks and things you can do. Again, doesn't matter what level you are, whether you're an expert or you're just barely starting out, it helps you every day. We're going to go basketball. Basketball is a very energetic sport, but it's a game of control. A lot of these games that we do, control starts first before you start really going and start playing. So again, some we're going to focus on first. When we have the ball, we don't want the ball necessarily resting in the palm of our hand. We want a little bit of a window. I'll turn the ball a little bit so you can see, so you're more like on your fingertips, right? So when you start bouncing that ball, you don't want to slap at it. When you start slapping at it, you got no control at all, as you can see. So you want to have total control. You want to bend your knees, get shoulder width apart, a little more if you want, but you want to practice on snapping that wrist down. When you're dribbling, don't slap. Fingertips, snapping that wrist down. So what I want you to do, even though it's going to make a lot of noise, maybe even in the house with parent permission, is I want you to slam that ball down. I don't want it coming all the way up here. I want that ball to stay low. So you're going to want to slam that ball down pretty good, get a feel of it, then gently stand up a little bit. So you're still using that wrist and snapping it down. That's exactly what we're looking like. When you're done with that, go to the other hand. I can tell you for me, I'm not a lefty. I have to do this every other day before I go play basketball just to rebuild my skills. But again, snap it down, snap it down. When you feel good and ready for both hands, you're snapping it down, you're keeping your knees bent, go ahead and do a little bit of what we call a crossover. Dribble once, crossover. Dribble once, crossover. Just practice this. And again, you see I'm starting to move my body a little bit, starting to get a little more comfortable with it. But what have I done? I have not stood up at all. My knees have been bent the whole time. When you're ready to go to the next level, now we're just doing simple crossovers like this. Are you gonna mess up? Yep, of course you are. Pick the ball up, start over again. It's okay. You don't have to go anywhere but in your driveway, in your kitchen if your parents let you, out in the backyard, at a park, it doesn't matter. You don't even need a partner for this. All this do is just ball control. All right, hey, we're back. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go focus on some cone sessions. If you don't have cones, it's okay. You can literally grab some rocks and just spread them out, maybe like 3-4 feet apart. You can get some old shoes, socks, it doesn't matter, just something that shows they're separated so you know when to weave in and out. And that's the first thing we're gonna do. We're gonna just focus on, again, ball control. This isn't about speed. Now how fast you can go, it's about the control you have. So we're gonna start with our right hand. Okay, we're gonna dribble. Once we get to that second cone, we're just gonna easily cross over to the left one. It's gonna look like this. You ready? It's gonna look like this. We're gonna go here, cross over. Again, I'm not going fast, I'm going nice and easy. The knees are bent, still bent. You're gonna turn around, and you're just gonna come the same exact way. But again, the knees stay bent, ball stay low, you're in control, head up, boom. And that's that first one. Once you do that 2, 3, 4 times, when you feel comfortable, we're gonna go to the next one, which is a little more difficult, but I know you can do it, and I want you to try it. We're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna do a crossover. I want you to plant. When you're dribbling with the right hand, plant that right foot, and then you're gonna cross over. When you're dribbling with the left hand, plant that left foot, and then cross over. Looks a little like this. You're dribbling, plant, crossover. Plant, crossover. Plant, crossover. So then you'll speed it up a little bit. It'll look a little like, oh, crossover, crossover, crossover. And as you get more comfortable, I want you to speed up faster and faster. When you feel good about that, we're going to the next level. So this time, when we do our crossover, we go in between our legs. Only way you know how good you are is to practice. Same thing, when you get to that next cone, you're gonna cross over in between your legs. You come right here, don't stop, cross over, boom, right here, open up that leg, cross over. Come right here, cross over. You're gonna turn around, same thing, get right here, between the legs. Keep the legs bent, bend at those knees. It'll open that up a lot more for that ball to fit through. All right, guys, next step of what we're gonna do is we worked on dribbling, ball handling. It's awesome, but part of the fun is actually shooting the ball and making that shot. What's the best part of it? That crowd noise. That's the incentive to make that basket. So first we gotta work on those fundamentals, how to make that shot. So just like dribbling, first we're gonna do is we're gonna get that ball on our fingertips. We should have a little bit of that window. I don't know if you see it right there. It shouldn't be laying flat on there. It should be more of a window. That's gonna give you more of that touch when you start flicking that wrist. Speaking of that, next thing we're gonna do is once we get that fingertip, there's two things you gotta really worry about is you wanna get that almost like a C shape, right? Not a V, almost like a C. Ball in the fingertips, and we're gonna work on flicking it, right? That follow through of that wrist. What I'd like you to do is you go find a wall. You can just do it up in the air, which is fine, but you wanna start getting that arc and actually shooting at a target. Go find a wall, pick out a brick you're looking for, go ahead and get that C formation, and just go ahead and flick it out there. If you notice, everything we do, our knees are always still bent. We're in an athletic position. We don't want to stand straight up and just flick it because you have no control once again. Knees bent, get that out there, just hold it up and just flick that ball out there to your target. Every now and then switch a target because it's not always going to be in the middle. I'm gonna go for that one on the angle. All I do is just flick that wrist and you'll see that extension with the elbow. Right here, flick that wrist, extend. Once you get down and you feel comfortable with that, if your wall's big enough, you can go ahead and back up. You don't have to be this close every time. Challenge yourself a little. Once you back up, you're gonna have to really flick that even harder. As you get stronger, it's gonna go further, so don't worry about it. And if you're younger, go closer to the wall. It doesn't matter. All you're doing is practicing that. Right here, that's your practice right there. Next thing I want you to focus on is your guide hand. A lot of kids, especially at a young age, will hold that ball here, put that other ball here. It makes it a little difficult because when you go to shoot it, it goes sideways. You're kind of impeding the process. I want you to go ahead and get that hand on the side of the ball. Essentially, you're taking a one-handed shot. But this is just holding it up there so it doesn't fall. Once it goes off, that hand comes off, and you're shooting it. This one shouldn't be flying out, and it shouldn't be on the ball when you're flicking that wrist. So you're just gonna hold it here, and again, on the wall, you got that C formation, guide hand comes off, and you're just shooting it. So essentially, it's a one-handed shot. Again, as you feel more comfortable and get better, I want you to back up a little bit, and then go ahead and still guide hand on, take that shot. And if you notice, knees bent, as I'm shooting, they're coming up. That's all you gotta do. All right, guys, now that we've mastered that drill on the wall, next step is, if you're able to, find a hoop. That's always the best part about it all. If there's a gym open at a park, doesn't matter. See if you can find a hoop somewhere, maybe in a front yard, maybe your neighbor, who knows, maybe you have one at home. That's even better. Go and find a hoop. And again, depending on your skill level, anytime you warm up, you don't have to start by shooting threes. Doesn't need to be. Start close, get your form, feel good, then start backing up. Even for a guy like me who's been playing a long time, I still always start close just to make sure my form is perfected. Again, what we're gonna do is fingertips, just like we did on the wall. We have a little bit of that window, as you can see. We got that C form right there, follow through, flick of the wrist. But now we're gonna actually add it to the hoop. As you look at the hoop, I want you to pretend something. I want you to pretend there's about a foot fence at the top of that rim. What's it gonna do? It's gonna help you arc that ball a little more. The one thing we don't want is we don't wanna get here and just slingshot the ball. That's gonna be so much harder to get in the hoop. We wanna go ahead and set our feet, bend our knees, get that form, and then we wanna shoot it up. We want that ball arcing like it's a fence, going over that fence and dropping in. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot, and let's see if I could actually make one. Let's see what happens. Again, that form, bending the knees, and we're just shooting over that fence, and oh my gosh, of course I miss it. So that comes into the next thing, focus on shot path. All right, something that you learn as a younger kid, and it's not absolutely horrible, but something I want you to work on. A lot of times, even adults, they'll set up, they'll bring that ball up high, then they'll bring it back down, and then they'll shoot it. Makes it a lot more difficult. When we talk about shot path, I want you to grab the ball, get in your right spot, and as you come up, to the right spot, and then you're releasing. So we're not going up and back down and then up, we're doing one motion. We're coming here, we're taking the ball down here, bending our knees, and then we're bringing the ball up, and then we're shooting. Now watch, this time I'll actually make it, because I'm gonna have the proper shot path technique. Dribbling the ball up, just like that. Again, I want you to start close, the same way I just did, and as you get that form and feel better, then you go ahead and start backing up. I'm gonna take one more shot backing up with that shot path. Just like that. Again, my name is Howard. Guys, thanks for watching. I want you to really work hard. Remember, what you put in is what you get out.